Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, it's Pike Place Market's birthday. We're looking back on your favorite traditions.
Plus, the United States Air Force Band of the Golden West is performing in our region this weekend. How they're making an impact through music education across the West Coast.
Then rumors swirling about who could perform at this year's Super Bowl, when you might hear that official announcement.
And local pop rock group Timothy Robert Graham Band is performing in studio. We're getting a sneak peek of their new EP and release show this Friday. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
Happy Thursday, friends. Thank you so much for being here with us on Studio 13 Live. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm Mireya Garcia, and we have to say a very special happy birthday to Pike Place Market today. Yes, the market turns a spry 116 years old. Pike Place has just really become an area for the city's rich cultural heritage to shine and has become an iconic destination for locals and tourists alike. To celebrate from today through September 1st, the market actually hosting a big birthday giveaway. And if you're interested in details, they say that you should check out the Pike Place Market's social media accounts for more info.
Yeah, I like that little potato, little potato with the eyes on it. Mireya, you know, I heard you were here. You started here before I did.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when you started, you got to kind of get in on one of the little Pike Place traditions. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes, you're right. I did. It was an honor for me to catch a fish at the market. I was so nervous. Everybody was so kind. My catch could use a little bit of work for sure, but I did it. And I hear that you actually, well, I didn't hear, I saw with my own two eyes, that you hung out there during a very special occasion not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, so cool to see, you know, Pike Place just completely transformed for All-Star Week. Just the glitz and the glam of this exciting event in our city, you know, mixed with the history of Pike Place. It was really cool to see a red carpet there. That's us chatting with the star of Blue Beetle, Sholomar Duenya. So it's one of my favorite memories, actually, since, you know, kicking off Studio 13 Live and everything. But I liked you. I liked your fish catch. What did you do with that T-shirt after you caught it?
I washed it really, really well. So just a quick aside, my family was visiting and I was meeting them for dinner like right after that. And I was so excited I forgot to put anything on. So I just smelled like that fish for the rest of the evening.
You're like, I'm a Seattleite now.
Yes, officially from the Pacific Northwest.
I love it. All right, let's get into some of these stories for today. So excitement is growing as a team from Seattle taking the field today at the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Northeast Seattle will start the tournament against a team from Gray, Maine. And this is actually the first time a Little League team from Seattle proper was able to reach the Little League World Series. They seem to really be enjoying the moment.
We've all wanted to play with the fans and the camera and like just be famous. And like, yeah, so we're just living the dream right now.
When our team starts to hit, I would describe that as kind of our superpower because we hit up and down the lineup.
Everybody's just like supporting us as a team, and it's crazy to see how much support has came from Seattle.
I love that. It's giving MLB vibes, you know, and their first game against Maine today at noon on ESPN, in fact.
So cool. Elite young athletes.
I love to see it.
Me too. That's so great.
All right, so the countdown is on to pick the next Super Bowl halftime performer.
That's right. So if it matches the NFL timeline from last year, this announcement could happen within the next month. You know, a rumored name was Lizzo, but she's likely off the list now given the recent sexual harassment allegations by her former dancers. Ed Sheeran was asked in a recent interview if he would do it, where he said yes, if someone else joined him. I think the obvious guess from there was his good friend Taylor Swift, but she reportedly turned down the opportunity because she has a concert in Japan the Friday before Super Bowl Sunday.
Just casually busy, okay? She's in Japan.
Yeah, and you know, they train for like an entire month there. As much as I would love to see her be be the halftime performer. I think every year we're wondering if it's going to be Taylor. She certainly has the catalog to do it, the history to do it. She's too big right now. She's having way too big of a moment. She's raking in an estimated, or was raking in an estimated $13 million a night from Eras Tour, not to mention all of her international dates. Like, I almost feel like she doesn't need it. Right now.
And I mean, it would make sense if she said yes, but I love the fact that she's respecting her commitments and respecting her fans, you know, not canceling anything to force this into working. And I think that really speaks to the love that she has for her fans.
Yeah, I can't picture Ed Sheeran doing it though. And
not by himself.
No, I mean, he would need to have a lot of guests. As talented and kind and just incredible as he is, I feel like he does stand up there with a guitar and a t-shirt and hang out. And for Super Bowl, I want glitz, I want glamour, I want dancing, I want fireworks, I want all of that. And so I feel like he would not be my pick. Is there anyone who you really want to do it?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I really enjoyed the J-Lo and Shakira performance. I loved Beyonce, you know, and Bruno Mars. So that's going to be hard to top for me.
It's going to be really hard to top. I feel like one person that might be amazing for it, Dolly Parton.
Oh my gosh.
She's really, because it's always, you've got to have something to promote usually. I feel like Rihanna was sort of the exception aside from her beauty line last year, but there's got to be something. Her rock album is coming out. She's done a million collabs. She could bring Miley with her up there. She has Paul McCartney's on her upcoming album. Like, there's so many huge artists that could roll with Dolly at the Super Bowl. That's my vote.
I do love that idea. We do love a baddie around here.
We
and
do.
In fact, the Barbie movie is officially Warner Brothers' biggest domestic release of all time. It crossed the $537 million mark to break that record. And the film takes the top spot from the 2008, oh my gosh, all the way in 2008, the Batman movie, The Dark Knight. That was a good one too. Barbie has been #1 at the box office for 4 weekends in a row now. We were expecting this though.
Snap to that. Snap to that. I feel like it was definitely set up to succeed, especially with the nostalgia around the Barbie movie and that insane marketing budget. The takeaway, let women run things more often. I mean, it's kind of one of the big themes of the film, if you've seen it. And then also, I feel like the box office numbers speak for themselves.
They do. I have heard some big names, though, saying that they are concerned that the signal here is going to be, let's do more movies about toys, when really it's supposed to be, let's do more movies that cater to a segment of the population that has felt unheard for so long.
Preach. We can do both, right?
We can do both.
All right, Jamie Foxx says that he's finally starting to feel like himself again after a serious health scare that put him in the hospital. So he posted a little update on social media saying, it's been an unexpected dark journey, but I can see the light. Now, the actor's daughter revealed that he was hospitalized in Atlanta back in April for an undisclosed medical emergency, and he returned to work last month. Man. That's a tough one. Recovering from like a health scare, you once you start to feel better, you're like, okay, this is good. And then some of it just lingers on, and his was very serious. So I can see how that would be really challenging for him. But I hope he's on the up and up, you know?
I'm glad to see that he's already coming back around. I think that having something to look forward to really helps in that healing process. Some really just strange, terrible news. Cole Sprouse opening up about the reaction he received from Riverdale fans after he and his co-star Lily Reinhart broke up. And in an interview with Vulture, he actually said he got death threats and some like nasty criminal stuff that was sent to his house. Unbelievable. Cole actually questioning whether this is just a consequence of falling in love or fanaticism, suggesting that the lines may have been blurred to viewers, of course. The couple, of course, breaking things off in March, all the way back in March of 2020. I'm just so sad to hear that he thinks this might be the consequence of love or fame, because it shouldn't be.
No, I mean, any kind of fan who takes these actions is unwell. They've taken it too far, and they're not really a fan if they want to harm one half of a couple that they were shipping or, you know, rooting for. So this is fan behavior that is absolutely not okay, and certainly the extreme side of fandom. All right, Millie Bobby Brown says that she's ready to move on from Stranger Things and just wants to live her own life. She says it's been a huge part of her upbringing, but it's really time to create her own message message. Millie's been playing the character of 11 since she was just 12 years old. She's now 19, and the final season of Stranger Things has been delayed because of the writers and the actors strike, of course. So it's going to be a little bit longer as we go here, but I don't blame her. You know, she's engaged to Jake Bon Jovi. This makes me think she's been listening to his dad's music a little bit. It's my life and it's now. Okay, I'll stop there.
Very good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely don't blame her. I think that sometimes people, you know, get this idea in their heads that you should be like, that being grateful means being attached to something permanently, and I just don't see it that way, especially when we're talking about someone who was truly a child when they started in this project. Now it's time for them to move on, grow, find success somewhere else. So hopefully we can wrap it up, because I am a Stranger Things fan, get that story told, and then she can go off and do whatever she'd like.
Yeah, because those filming schedules can be pretty grueling, and I know I don't think anyone would blame her from wanting to kind of branch out from this. I'm sure she's getting all kinds of film offers and things like that. But with that schedule, you have to decline most of it unless it fits perfectly within your, you know, hiatus from shooting your show. So I'm sure she's eagerly anticipating that. Let me ask you this, because you love Stranger Things. Do you feel like it's okay for it to wrap up now? Like, are you satisfied if after one more season it's done?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that it's been very well done. It did have a few missteps, but overall, I think you also have to work within the confines of some level of reality. Like, these children are looking more and more like adults, and like, how often are we going to pretend that they're still these little kids? You know?
It also seems like, and I would say this is rare because I'm not generally a fan of a reboot, but it seems like one of those series they could just stop for now, leave it there, and then in like 10 years they could pick it up again, and the fans who loved it so much would watch it, and it could work again.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
All right, still to come on Studio 13 Live, a mom taking her jury duty very seriously, how the judge reacted when she actually brought her triplets along.
Wow. All right. But first, Britney Spears and her husband, they are headed for divorce. TMZ broke the story, and we're going to check in with them next to get the scoop.
Don't gotta wait.
Diving into some major entertainment news now, Britney Spears' husband, Sam Asghari, filing for divorce from the Princess of Pop.
Yep, TMZ broke this story, so we're going to check in with them right now. We're talking with senior producer Jim Eckhart for the details. Hi, Jim.
Good morning, ladies. How are we doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for filling us in on this. This is a very long and complicated story. What do we know?
It is. So let's dive in. What we know right now is that Sam has filed for divorce after 14 short months of marriage. What we know is last week there was an argument between the two. Sam alleged that Britney had stepped out of the marriage, possibly a little cheating. Now, we have not confirmed that rumor at all, but this fight spiraled. Security had to get involved. Sam moved out of the house, and on Wednesday he filed for divorce.
Wow, that is some intense stuff, because I do know they'd actually been together for a long time prior to actually getting married. So some big decisions made here.
Yeah, you can easily say that. We reported earlier this month that it was getting a little toxic between the two. There had been more fights than normal. Security had to get involved in these fights. And unfortunately, it's just led to them not working out ultimately and him filing for divorce.
Man, that makes me sad. You know, I always got the feeling that Sam was a really big part of her support system, especially, you know, during and after the conservatorship. What kind of support system does Britney have these days?
I'm afraid to say that I'm not sure. This morning she posted on Instagram about buying a horse, so that may be it. But right now she does not communicate with her family, her father, mother, her children. So as of now, it was Sam, and he's left, and we're currently told it is security and her manager who is her support system at the moment.
That is just so difficult to hear. Now, we do know that she's been working on this much anticipated book, but we're unlikely to hear sort of this portion of the story in the book. I hear that she'd already kind of sent it off and agreed to it.
Yeah, she had already gone to Las Vegas to celebrate completing the book over the summer, and this is just all so recent that more than likely, unless they pause the release of the book, we won't have any details or exclusive details from her on this situation.
So it sounds like the relationship got pretty toxic. What do we know, or what do you think is the #1 kind of issue that they had in their relationship?
I'm not really sure. It just seemed like the two would get very volatile with each other. Just a lot more fights would come up between the two. It kind of seems like since the conservatorship ended, Britney was somewhat on her own. She was able to make decisions on her own, and perhaps that kind of influence really drove a wedge between the two.
Oh man, I'm sure this is not the last we will be hearing about this. But Jim, thank you so much for filling us in on everything.
Of course, thanks for having me.
And don't forget, you can catch TMZ right here on Fox 13 weekdays at 7 p.m. And coming up, we're showing you a house that just hit the market on Zillow, okay, for $1. But there's a reason why it's that cheap.
$1, Bob. Up next, Chipotle is saying thank you to teachers, how you can nominate a teacher in your life. And also, they're going to win some supplies for their classroom. That's pretty cool. We'll be right back.
Don't gotta wait today.
Look, I'm a nerd. I like a library, but if you want it to feel like a party, there is one person that can make it feel that way, okay? Jay-Z. In honor of hip-hop's 50th anniversary, the Brooklyn Public Library has released 13 limited edition cards with art from Jay-Z's albums. And the library says 14,000 people have already made new accounts. I love to hear it. People can also collect all 13 versions, but only one of them is going to be tied to an actual account. A small amount of people are trying to sell them online, which of course they are. But Jay-Z's cool, but is there anyone else that you'd love to see on a library card?
Well, I would love to see Jay-Z and Beyonce on a library card. They have so many epic collabs.
Yeah.
Music videos, maybe a little music video moment, like Crazy in Love,
Like it.
Drunk in Love. There's so many good ones.
A lot of in loves.
Yeah. I mean, also Harry Styles. What about you?
I don't know. I think I'd love to see like a really eccentric looking Bad Bunny on a library card.
Yeah.
You know, make it a little different.
I feel like this should be a trend, though. I mean, we both love the library. Why not get young readers even more excited about it? Especially
like that.
the younger generation who's like so digital about everything. You know?
That sounds fun.
Involve
Ideas.
some pop stars and some hip hop stars. I love it. Chipotle, something else I love, wants you to nominate a teacher to receive free school supplies. So 94% of teachers pay out of their own pockets to buy supplies, which is why Chipotle wants to help them out. So from now until this Friday, that is tomorrow, you can nominate a teacher on Chipotle's website to win classroom essentials. The chain will randomly select 350 teachers to win a classroom supply kit. I love that they are doing this.
That's actually a lot of teachers.
That's a lot of teachers, but I can't believe that statistic, but also, but I kind of can. We've both been with, our guys have been teachers in the past before, and they definitely, spent a lot of money out of their own pocket. So every single teacher just about does.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if you get to know these students, right, and you want them to succeed and you want to help them any way you can, but if you don't have, or if the school doesn't have the funding, then you come up with it, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's donations or out of your own pocket.
Yeah.
Right. We love our teachers here. This is a wild story. A mom in Utah tried to do her civic duty and still be a mom at the same time, just casually trying to do it all. She didn't want to face a $1,000 fine, of course, for skipping jury duty. So she brought her 18-month-old triplets and her 5-year-old daughter with her. That is a lot of kiddos to bring with you. There's technically no rule against doing that, and she says that she expected to be sent home right away. However, the judge apparently didn't mind even when she actually had to run after the triplets. Can you imagine running after triplets in the courtroom? She says several hours later, they said, all right, you can go home. Wow.
Wow. They really made her stay there, huh?
They did.
What about if she was selected for jury duty? Do they offer childcare? What would you do with your
That
four
would be
kids?
very interesting. That would be interesting because I think they also know that people are constantly trying to get out of jury duty.
Yeah.
So maybe they were waiting to see, do you really not have childcare?
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, let's talk about this. So studies have shown that couples who have couple friends are happier in their own relationships, and they're more likely to stay together. So hanging out with another couple can provide social support and help you better appreciate your partner, but not always easy to find the perfect couple match since all 4 people really do have to click. However, research shows it's worth it.
Interesting.
You have couple friends?
Yeah, of course I have couple friends, and I do love it, but I do think it's also important to have, you know, individual friends, right?
Definitely.
Because I've certainly been in a situation, you know, where like I didn't click with like one person, but my husband clicked with, you know, the other.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, we don't all have to be friends,
Yeah.
but we can all be nice to each other.
Yeah, once in a while at least. I really kind of fought having couple friends for a while.
Really?
It just made me feel like so adult or something when I was younger in my relationship. But then I realized it's pretty awesome because you get to hang out with your partner and your friend and like a whole group there.
Yeah.
So it's
Game
really
night.
nice to have it. Game night. Best thing to do with your couple friends. I love
Exactly.
it. All right, still to come, we're giving you a look at the Sierra Winds Ensemble with the United States Air Force Band of the Golden West.
But first, time for Zillow Gone Wild, where you can get this house right here for $1 and why it's so cheap.
Take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sun shining through the clouds.
It is time to take a look at the wilder side of Zillow. Now, whether it's a billionaire's mansion or a shack on the side of the road, we're real nosy around here. We want to see it all, okay? Today's house catching a lot of attention because it's supremely affordable, but we'll have to call it a fixer-upper's dream. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house in Pontiac, Michigan, currently listed for just $1 single. Built in 1956, it is, a little bit dirty. It is 724 square feet with 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a really great yard. You see the wood, some tile, most of the walls.
I mean, who needs insulation in the kitchen, right? Can we talk about that avant-garde floor hole we're seeing?
So fancy.
I just think it's a masterpiece in the making.
Yeah.
Why are they trying to offload this for $1? You could at
know.
least get more. Are they just not wanting to pay property taxes?
I think maybe that's what it is. It seems like so little. I wonder if maybe it's like a money issue where they lost the property and now it's like, get it out of here.
Maybe. That would be I mean, the living room was really nice. Y'all, I lived in New York where the apartments are like closets. So I'm like, $1.
I'll take it.
I'll take it, Bob.
All right. Well, if you see any crazy homes on the market, be sure you let us know. You can find us on social media, Studio 13 on Fox.
All right, now it's time for one of my favorite segments, Cuckoo Reviews, where we like to dive into the most absurd reviews on the internet. You know, from Amazon fashion mishaps to useless office supplies. So this first one, it's for a cute summery crop top. And I know, you know, these shirts can get pretty small, maybe not this small. So this reviewer said, my 16-year-old daughter bought this thing. It is ridiculously small, and I probably couldn't legally post a picture of what it looks like if she attempts to wear it. But as you can see, here's a picture of our cat wearing it. To be fair, it does cover all of the cat's chest area. All right. In summary, do not buy this, even for your cat.
Oh my goodness. This is cracking me up.
You know what this reminds me of? Skims. Have you ever tried to buy any of their shapewear?
Okay, I have one Skims shapewear and I had to buy like the absolute biggest size they have and it's still too tight.
Right.
I'm like, how?
I was in pain. I was also sized up. I was in pain trying to put that shapewear on. And like, I'm no stranger to Spanx, but it looks like, if you like pull this out, look it up on YouTube. It's like the size of a toddler.
It is,
and
it is.
It feels like it didn't stretch as much as it was supposed to.
That's where these folks got their inspiration
Probably.
then. Okay, so this next one is a tape dispenser on Amazon that seems to have like a lot of purposes. Here we go. This reviewer wrote, this tape is good quality, but the dispenser is only good for carrying with you in a dark alley in case you get jumped. You can clunk a person in the head with it, then you can drag the body back to your place and make them help you tape up boxes because that's the only way you're able to get that tape dispenser to work. It's with 2 people. Okay, it looks like a regular old tape dispenser, but I guess she's just not having it.
Oh my gosh. People get so intense with their stories and this like narrative that they come up with. Wow. If you come up with any come across any interesting cuckoo reviews, definitely send them to us on social media because we love to share them with all of you.
We do. It's the best. There's some other people that get really intense. If you're an Airbnb owner, you don't want your place to get wrecked by renters. That totally makes sense. But one Texas house is going viral for maybe going a little overboard. Let's take a look here. So this viral TikTok video is showing a woman walking through this house she rented. Looks like a nice place, but there's just these endless little signs, and I love that they also appear to be laminated on top of everything else, okay? It says, don't touch this, no jumping on the beds. These shelves are for owner use only.
Jeez.
I really had to throw the vibe on there, There are also signs telling guests how they should clean the furniture. Most of the comments had the same reaction. If your house is so fragile, then maybe don't put it up on Airbnb.
Exactly. And this, it's kind of extreme, but these days when you rent an Airbnb, it's like, okay, thanks for staying with us. Don't forget to wash the dishes, take out the trash, sweep the kitchen, and then we're also going to charge you a cleaning fee on top of that.
Yes.
You're like, am I a guest or an employee here?
Yeah, I don't love it. That is my biggest pet peeve with that at this point. But some people are real particular. It really sounds like that house shouldn't be on Airbnb.
Definitely not. And definitely you should be able to see these pictures of it before you sign up,
yeah.
Right? Ugh. All right, financial health, now definitely more important than good looks when it comes to finding a partner. So a poll of 2,000 adults found that 38% of people are more likely to be attracted to someone who is good with money. That is a higher ranking than physical appearance, marriage, and wanting to start a family. Experts say that understanding your partner's financial habits and openly talking about them can reduce conflict in your relationship. I think everyone wants to get swept up in these fairy tales about love, and I am not anti-love, but it really is also like a business deal. You do have to take that all into account because it's one of the biggest things people fight about if it doesn't go well.
I 100% agree. Yes, romance plays a role, of course, but I think that this is not even about being a gold digger or whatever. It's about your peace, your personal peace, your security. If you don't have enough money, if you don't know if you're going to be able to eat, take care of your family, retire, the amount of stress, my goodness, no. So yeah, you can certainly be attracted to your partner, but when you're choosing between somebody who spends every penny they have and somebody who has a plan, the answer is pretty easy.
Gotta look at the full picture.
That's right. Hey, chances are you've seen somebody write their little Venmo username on their car before, whether it's for graduation or a bachelorette party, maybe a bachelor party, weddings. So people are really doing this a whole lot on their cars. They write the Venmo username and then they, tell the world, send me some money if you want to give me a present. People online, though, calling this tacky and greedy, but others say, who cares? If people want to send the money, let them. So, would you put this on your car?
I hadn't thought of it until now, but yeah, maybe get a little decal made.
Yeah.
Maybe one with a QR code so people can just scan it, just
easy peasy.
Get right to it. Don't even have to type the full username in. But you know who I think would like to kind of donate to this? The people who are the first ones at Starbucks to do the pay it forward thing.
Oh,
they go through some people really like treating other people and making other people's day better, especially if they have that expendable income. Let them. Why not? Would you do it?
Whatever. I wouldn't put it on my car, but I've seen friends do this and I think, I can never do this, but why not?
Yeah.
Put it on their social media stuff. Be like, it's my birthday, here's my Venmo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe somebody sends you a couple bucks and you buy yourself a little coffee.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
What a way to make someone's day. Thinking about it now, the car thing, also, I'm a granny driver, so I think people might think about helping me out and then they see how slow I drive and they're like, no, we're not doing that. We don't want to encourage this. All right, let's talk about this. It's being called a cosmic question mark in space. Take a look. NASA released this photo. Scientists aren't sure what it is, but this is real. It looks just like a question mark. Some theories suggest that it could be a distant galaxy, perhaps two galaxies interacting. Scientists are, planning to study it further. could be the aliens telling us they speak our language, no?
The aliens are like, what is up with y'all? That's so weird. You know, I know that the human brain is conditioned to like find faces, but question mark. No, that's pretty obvious there to me.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, still ahead on Studio 13 Live, a local rock band is releasing their new EP this Friday. We'll give you a sneak peek at the new music from Timothy Robert Graham Band.
But first, the United States Air Force Band of the Golden West is performing in studio, where you can catch the Sierra Winds Ensemble performing around our region this week.
Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna.
States Air Force Band of the Golden West is performing around our region this week with stops in Kent and Langley, Washington. This year marks a few major milestones throughout their history with music that reflects and honors just that.
Yeah, and today we are getting a glimpse at their beautiful show with Technical Sergeant Randolph Pallotta and the Sierra Winds Ensemble. Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
Thank you.
So glad y'all are here. So tell us kind of about this group and what your mission is.
Yes, so we are the United States Air Force Band of the Golden West, and we are stationed at Travis Air Force Base in the San Francisco Bay Area in California. We are honored to be representing the airmen there as part of Air Mobility Command. We are the only active duty Air Force band in the west of the Rockies in the continental United States, and we perform over 250 performances a year across 5 states.
Wow, that is so cool. Now, is there anything else that makes this group different from other ensembles?
Yeah, so we actually have 9 musicians here today, and which is actually a team up of 2 of our ensembles, our woodwind quintet and our clarinet quintet, and we want to do a team up to create a fun and exciting program that featured a variety of different instrument configurations.
Oh, very cool. And this year marks not one but several major milestones throughout U.S. military history. Tell us about each of those.
Of course. So our military is celebrating several major milestones from throughout our history, and our concerts will be highlighting 3 of those milestones. The first is the 100 years of air refueling, which commemorates the debut of a game-changing capability that revolutionized world reach and is a key capability for Air Mobility Command. The second is the 75th anniversary of the Women's Armed Services Integration Act, which enabled women to serve as regular permanent members of our military.
Wow.
And finally, the 50th anniversary since the return of the all-volunteer force, which signaled the end of the draft and returns to the tradition of voluntary service.
Wow.
Nice. So you talked about the different configurations in terms of instruments. So talk to us about the vibe. What kind of music are you going to be performing?
Yeah, so we're going to play a lot of classical. We're going to feature a lot of American composers. We've got some fun little treats. We've got some circular breathing, and we've got some kazoos. So if you want to know a little bit more, check out our show.
Yeah, and you're going to be performing 2 shows in our area, August 19th and August 20th. Tell us about that and kind of where people can find you.
Yeah, so we are doing 2 shows. The first is Saturday, August 19th at the Kent United Methodist Church at 3 p.m. We're also going to be live streaming that on our YouTube page at Band of the Golden West. So if you're not able to make it in person, you can check out our live stream there. And our second show will be August 20th at the Island Church of Whidbey in the town of Langley on Whidbey Island. So for free tickets and info, check out our Eventbrite page and our social media pages.
Very cool. Well, let's take a little look at your show right now with a performance in studio. Take it away.
Very jolly.
Yes. Just looking at everyone's individual instruments too. It's so cool to see this really cool variety. I know you guys have also traveled around the West Coast. Come back over here. You do music education workshops. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we love doing educational shows. We love programming music that's fun and that teaches educational concepts for middle school students, and we love playing for colleges and doing master classes and talk about what it's like being an airman musician.
Wonderful. Okay, so for those people who are maybe interested in joining the U.S. Air Force Band of the Golden West in the future, what should they do?
Well, first, we have to have an opening, and we actually do audition for our positions. So you can get more info on that on our website, music.af.mil. But the Air Force is always looking for talented, qualified individuals to serve in the Air Force. So those watching that are interested, reach out to a local recruiter.
Wonderful. And you have to be patient. No fight to the death with the clarinets, okay? Just got to wait it out. All right, thank you so much. All of you, such talents.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And we have posted more information on upcoming shows on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. We'll be right back with the Timothy Robert Graham Band.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait.
You may recognize this next guest as a coffee connoisseur, but on top of that, he's also a local producer, singer-songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. Timothy Robert Graham and his band are releasing their new EP this Friday at Barboza.
Today, we're getting a sneak peek of their new music. For that, we're being joined by Timothy Robert Graham and singer Juliet. Welcome to you both.
Thank you so much.
Oh, this is so lovely. Okay, now music actually in your blood. So talk to us about how you first got started in the music industry and how you're influenced by the things around you growing up.
Yeah, my grandfather, Robert Dresnan, was a touring jazz musician in like the 50s. And then later he became the music director for CBS, another TV station.
Wow.
So he did like the background music for Hawaii Five-0, Mission Impossible, Twilight Zone.
That's so cool.
Wow.
So yeah, I grew up learning to write songs at his feet, and then my mom would often sing me to sleep. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You were
Beautiful.
meant for this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So now you're blazing your own path as the
Yep.
front man of your band. Tell us kind of
Yep.
how you started making music and how you would describe your style.
yeah, in high school I was like in bad emo bands, like a lot of high schoolers. And then I went to school for recording and producing and songwriting. And when I moved to Seattle, I surprisingly had a hard time making friends, even though I'm so charming. But eventually I just started passing around recordings, and then people started volunteering to play shows with me, and yeah, been playing ever since.
You overcame the Seattle freeze.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Thawed them out.
Yeah.
I love it with your beautiful voice. Okay, so I do hear that you have a pretty unique recording space as well.
Yes.
Tell us all about that.
Yeah, so one half of my studio is my living room.
Okay.
And my very gracious wife has let me kind of like take over the space. So if you were to come over to sing, my dog would be next to you on the couch. It would just be like somebody cooking you dinner, very relaxed home space. And then I also have like a secret warehouse in Soto, so near the sports stadiums. And that's like a big open space to record like drums and loud stuff and big bands.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool.
Cool. I kind of want the one where I can pet a dog
Yeah,
while listening
totally.
to you record.
And someone's making dinner? Yes,
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, for
sounds
sure.
great. No, that's so cool though. This new EP, kind of ties with your last EP, Could Be Better. You released that in
Yep.
2021. What's kind of the difference in the music between the last album and this one?
Yeah, so thematically they're somewhat similar. Could Be Better is the last one, and then the new EP is called Could Be Worse. So it's just like a joke to myself. Yeah, exactly. And the idea is to not take myself too seriously, just to remember that like playing music is about sharing and kind of going first. Like I'll tell you how I feel, and hopefully you feel safe. And after the show, you can come up to me and we can have a conversation, and I can get to know people and help them feel seen just as much as I want to feel understood. So.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we actually were doing a mic check during the commercial break, and I want to call your music like just so swayable. Like I started like
Yes,
just
please.
vibing without even meaning to.
Yeah.
But what is it that you want people to feel when they hear your music?
Yeah, I mean, the songs are different, but I feel like I'm just in love with catchy melodies. You know, since I was a kid, it was like Beatles or Nirvana and Green Day, and like, yeah, anything with a catchy melody that like feels good. I'd say that's the main thing. And my friend Juliet has like a similar vibe. She always makes me feel good, so that's why I was like, come be my emotional support buddy and play.
I love that. Well, let's get ready to feel good.
Yeah.
We're going to get a chance to hear one of your songs right now.
Yep.
Take it away.
All right, this is Till There Was You. Till there was you, slept until noon, under a fog of heavy gloom. Till there was you, I was alone, no messages on my telephone, a lonely blue, a faded hue. Till there was you. Ooh. Till there was you. Thought I might die. No shoulder to lean on and cry, to share the joy and the dark defeat, a crown of thorns, worn like a wreath, truest of true, one longed for two, till there was you. Ooh. Oh, 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 oh. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. To share the joy and the dark defeat, a crown of thorns, worn like a wreath, truest of true, one longed for two, till there was you.
Woo! Oh my God, do we all feel good? We feel so good now.
We were swaying. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Tell us kind of what inspired that song.
Yeah, that one was a love song, but I wrote it for my friends. So like, easy to write a love song about a partner, my wife. But yeah, in the pandemic, I was thinking a lot about my pals and people who stick by you through different phases of life. It's like they're the real ones. Yeah. So love song to your pals.
I like that.
That's so nice. Oh, that actually warms my heart so much. Wow, yeah. And you have your EP release show this Friday at Barboza. So tell us a little bit about that and where people can get some tickets.
Yeah, so Barboza, they have their own website. It's right below Neumos on Capitol Hill. Shows at 7 p.m. And my friend Juliet, her band will be playing.
Yay.
I'll play some new songs from the EP. And then my friend Tinsley will headline the show. And I wrote some songs and produced part of her record too. So it's
Very cool.
Seattle community coming together for some good music.
Tell me about the other members of your band.
Yeah.
Too.
My drummer, Michael, we toured in a band like up and down the West Coast and into the Midwest. And when that band ended, I just kept on bugging him, like, please join my band. And he was like, no, I'm going to wait for like a bigger offer. And I just wore him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wore him down.
You are the biggest offer.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. And then Lyndon, my bassist, I recorded his band Public Pool and just like loved the band. And so it was like I was asking for someone's hand in marriage. I was like, may I please have your bassist? And can they also be in my band? And so
That's great. And Juliet, what's the name of your band?
I'm self-titled, so I just go by Juliet, but it's capital JULIET. exclamation point ET.
Oh, I love that
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great. Timothy and
wonderful.
Juliet, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, it's been awesome. We posted a little more info on their show up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13 Live. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Y'all are a vibe.
I know.
Oh, so good.
Take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds.